We're very excited to introduce you to the first FPA and CE Townhall Meeting. We couldn't do this work that the Lord has put before us without you.
2 weeks ago, you sent us, your crew, to sit in the Rose Garden of the White House while President and Melania Trump signed the Take It Down Act to take down AI-generated pornography using your children and grandchildren's and neighbors and nieces and nephews' likeness to produce sexual content is now a federal crime in America. Nebraska has become our 26th state to save girls' sports. This policy was originated at Family Policy Alliance. We were able to stand up for the civil rights of our girls in Title IX and really transform a global conversation. As of this spring, we got to a majority of the states with your help. The footing that America is now on is completely different than it was 4 or 5 years ago. People are seeking policies to protect our children, and we are winning in nearly all of our court battles to back up these legislative victories.
It has been an amazing year, Craig. What we focus in on Christians Engaged, we built a 50-state get out the vote system. We created something ourselves where we literally manually track every election, every state and federal election in the country, and we push people out to vote with 4 texts and 4 emails with their guide to vote in that specific election. We went from 225,000 Christians to 850,000 Christians in 6 months. 29 of the family policy councils now are asking people to take the pledge to pray, vote, and engage. We had already developed about $300,000 of on-demand video classes. FPA had their classes as well. We've recreated that into Christians Engaged Academy and merged all of those products. And we literally have an on-ramp to civic engagement for every Christian in the country that wants to start engaging. We have classes on local government, justice, economics, a full campaign school. We can educate people and not only push them out to vote, but educate them on how to engage.
Some of you may be familiar with our Social Conservative Policy Conference, and we're in our 3rd year. This July, we'll be meeting in Indianapolis, Indiana for the first time. Very pleased to say that we have just about completed all sponsorships for this event. We have 77 confirmed speakers, altogether 25 different sessions, and our statesmen that are there for the other track of the conference, the Statesman Academy. And I'll mention that we are full. The School Board Academy will be hosting our 8th live cohort this November. We have about 200 graduates at this point from 40 different states, and that is growing all the time.
We studied most all the material we could get our hands on, biographies, papers, press releases, FPA history, and basically came to the conclusion, these are our people. And so we agreed to merge. How's it going? I'm glad you asked. We're very pleased with the results after a year. The merger has worked out as agreed upon, and even better. God's blessed our efforts beyond all that we can ask or imagine. Personally, I'm very impressed with the character and ability of the people on the board and on staff, their commitment to the Lord Jesus Christ. I think the leadership abilities and styles of Craig and Bunny really complement one another just beautifully. We're making contacts with pastors, churches, ministries, that were beyond our reach a year ago. We find our donors like what they see. Going forward, what I see is continued expansion of the ministry that will exploit the synergy between Christians Engaged and Family Policy Alliance.
I will tell you, anybody that's been involved in a political campaign and a lot of work that Bunny has done, more often than not, campaigns are lost because your voters don't turn out to vote. And you can have the greatest strategy, all of the things, wonderful media, but if your folks don't get out and vote, it doesn't happen. And the family policy vision is a country where God is honored, religious freedom flourishes, families thrive, and life is cherished. And FPA, Family Policy, and many of the other members of the coalition really excelled at working on the public policy side. If you don't have enough votes in those bodies that are making the decision, you're not going to win on the public policy side. 41 million said they weren't going to vote. Christians, evangelical Christians who believe as we do, 41 million. When we had the opportunity to meet with Bunny and her board to bring about a stronger organization for both. I was really thrilled and knew that this was going to take us forward to something that was much, much stronger.
I want to steal from something Craig said, where he made the comment that Christians Engage is a better mousetrap for finding and engaging Christian voters. It was genius, in my opinion, that when the tagline Pray, Vote, Engage was created, the very first thing was pray. It should be our first response, not our last resort. And then, as God calls us, we need to get engaged in the entire process. And what Bunny and her team and the board had put together was a very versatile, a very flexible, a very pointed way to do just that. When you pull the two together, what Bunny and her team created, what FPA brought, think of it as a beautiful jigsaw puzzle. Beautiful because of the synergies that exist, but also beautiful because of the success that it can bring to our overarching goal. This merger has really positioned us well for the future. This is the beginning. It's not the end.
Know your investment is in a structural change in who votes in America going forward, not just in one election, but for all the elections going forward. So our investments are really quite different from those, Bunny, that are trying to raise an army every 4 years. We are able to transform these elections with millions of dollars, not billions, thousands of dollars in state legislative seats. We're able to change the majority in states with this. It's just amazing what's going on, Bunny.